Drinking some nitro cold brew. I make it myself.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Good
I make
morning,
it my own.
everybody.
Guru Nation, good morning. Maybe for some it's good afternoon, but here on the West Coast it's morning Pacific Standard Time. Got some nitro cold brew. Working from home today. The team, the CRCs, are at the office. They've got patients. They've got a study startup webinar, and Monica and I were thinking, okay, as two side owners who also own a CRC academy, right? In this environment of careers, right? Like the only the only stakeholders that are hiring still are sites and small sites. And what kind of skill set do we look for? Small sites are very different than anyone else in the industry. Like, yeah, education's nice, but it's not really like the primary determinant. We do have two CRC with bachelors and then two without. Um, so we just there's a lot to discuss here for Guru Nation and for those watching and listening. And who better than to have Latinos in Clinical Research co-founder, Save Our Sites co-founder, and the CRC Academy co-founder and a site owner, Clarity
Hey.
Clinical. By the way, that one study that you have, that we both have, which shall remain nameless, they have a new study now
I saw it and I
with
want it.
bipolar.
I know I want it too.
Did they talk to you yet?
No, no, I haven't spoke with them yet.
Reach out. I had to
I
reach out,
will.
and then now they're
I
speaking to
will.
us.
I
So,
will. I will.
anyways, Monica, there's a lot of courses. We have a course, but there's a lot of courses that even at universities now, bachelor's in clinical research, master's in clinical research, they're probably going to come out with a PhD in clinical research. At the end of the day, if you let's say you don't have any college degree and you work at a site, let's use Casey Figueroa as an example. She works for our CRA Academy. She works for I think, the CRC Academy. If not, maybe. She's become a CRA now for us for the CRO work that we do. She's been a coordinator for over a decade. No bachelor's, no master's, no PhD, but she's done everything you can imagine at the site level. Everything. And that's because experience trumps all. All right. So a lot of people don't have the experience and think that they can bypass it by getting more education. And it's just not the way it works. That's the old school way of thinking. That's the industrial revolution mentality. We're in the information age. ChatGPT, let me break it down. ChatGPT has more knowledge than any degree. You can go get 100 PhDs. ChatGPT in like 5 seconds can surpass that. We're in a new era, people. Whether you know it or not, historians are going to look back, 50 years from now and write history books. Like somewhere around coronavirus was also the shift in the information age, and we just don't know it because we're living in it now. So we want to hold on to the past. And universities, I don't know if anyone needs to hear this. They're businesses. Like I don't know if anyone needs to hear it. Your favorite Harvard, whatever it is that you're impressed with, they're businesses at the end of the day. And of course, they're going to roll out more degrees because that's a lot of people think, well, I can't get a job. I need another degree. And yeah, there are certain trades where that's the case. And the sponsors are still, when it comes to CRAs, they're still strict about having a bachelor's. And I can understand that. But we're talking about sites. And at the site is where there's all the gray area exists at the sites. And the smaller the site, the better. So who better to bring on than my very well educated colleague, Monica Quitiva?
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, the other thing that you will find in a small sites is all the golden tokens, right? Because you're gonna learn absolutely everything from scratch,
Yeah.
basically.
Why do
You're
tech
gonna
vendors
wear every single hat.
why does every tech vendor I know, not one that does not say, "Hey, can I come by your site and shadow even for a day?" Our team would do really well if they could. We're trying to build this system. You think we can shadow your coordinators for a day? Why do you think they don't ask like the universities? Obviously, they're going to get a no, but what are they actually going to learn at the university? Nothing. What are they going to learn at a small site like Clarity Clinical? A lot more in one day than you'll get in a master's degree program. I could go on forever on this topic, Monica. I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, I remember one person that we know in common, Kobe. He has a
Ooh, shout
master's
out to
in
Kobe.
research.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a master's in research. He's a psychologist with master's in research,
Yep.
and he was not able to join the industry until he got the experience as a coordinator.
At our small site,
Hmm.
where it was me, you, and him, basically the three people in the office every day
Yeah.
for like a
Uh huh.
year. I remember
Hmm.
those days. I kind of miss those
Hmm.
days, Monica. Those are good days.
Yes.
Good days to have. But yeah, he had a master's and no experience in it. It took a small clinic that, by the way, failed. Like that site failed for him to get his foot in the door. And then a year later, he got hired by another clinic, and now he's doing just rating scale because that master's now comes into play, but it comes into play later. A lot of people looking to get masters because they don't have experience. That's not going to help you.
Yeah, we even have at the CRC Academy people with masters, with PhDs, IMGs, a lot of IMGs, people with with like high education. But the thing is that um, in universities, they give you the certificate that is, I mean, it might look pretty, and also it sounds more appealing to say I graduated from clinical research from Harvard than it is from a small organization, right?
Hmm.
Um, but at the end of the day, what is what you really need? Because that knowledge that you learn there, you might not even use it. I'm not going to say that that
Yeah,
education is not gonna do anything, but it will, like Dan says, in the future. But to break in, you need something more practical, which is like the class that we have, that it teaches you exactly what you need to learn, or the things that you're gonna be using as a coordinator. And then we provide the internship, which is the best part of it. Like Dan
yeah.
was saying, the experience is what really matters, really, because it's not the same when the students are in class, they understand the concepts, but when they start the internship, everything makes sense.
Everything unlocks. By the way, that class starts August 5th. Tamira Adams. This is a really good question. I'm glad you bring it up. By the way, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share. What clinical experience do you recommend? I have over 2 years of experience as a medical scribe. This is exactly Ashley Margot. 2 years experience as a medical scribe and over 2 years of experience as a research assistant. Do y'all recommend I get additional experience before applying to entry level CRC positions? Tamira, I'm going to look at your LinkedIn right now. It depends on what site you're at and what kind of like how involved
Experience.
you are.
Mhm.
Because at Yuma Clinical Trials, small site, no one's ever heard of, our research assistants become coordinators like in 3 to 6 months. And if not, it maybe it takes a year, but they are doing so many things at that site. They are basically coordinating without the title. It
Yeah.
looks
Hmm.
like she is at
Same
uh
for me. Same for me. Right now, I actually have two former students from the CRC Academy as a coordinators.
Yeah, it looks like Tamara was at a academic medical center. So, Tamara, I would while you're working, I would apply to 20 sites in your area, and when you have a free time, go in person to 20 of them, and don't leave till someone comes out and says, I mean, don't be
Yes,
rude. If no one's there, you gotta obviously leave. But if they're saying, no, they're on the phone right now, can you leave your number? No. Say,
your
no, you know
CV.
what? I'll wait. I'll wait till they're off, please. It only takes 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah. I will, if I was going to start again, I will go to every single site. Well, first, I will watch that video, 5 hours.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I actually sent it to somebody yesterday.
Thank
Five
you.
hours just to get a little broad idea of how the industry is, and then after that, if you have zero experience and if you have no education, like in healthcare, um, I will go to every single site around the area where I live with my CV, with a great attitude, introduce myself, tell them I will be willing to do any volunteering time in
Yes.
anything they need, even if they need me to
In any
start yeah, cleaning the how you call the coffee
coffee
cups.
machine. The
I will
cleaning
do
the
it
coffee machine,
just to
passing
start.
flyers
Exactly,
in the
because
community,
exactly.
scheduling patients.
Uh-huh.
I interviewed our admin yesterday. Um, he started as a MA at the clinic that I work with. Then he took a break to go to RN school, so he's gonna be a RN. And those are not the kind of education that I'm against. RN, MD, NP, of course, like that's
Yeah,
not
for
information
healthcare, you
age
need
stuff.
them.
He's
Hmm.
now in the summer. We didn't need to hire him, but I was like, no, this guy's good. We'll find something for him. He was our admin. So all he does, we work with patient Ace with Ronick, who you know. We told Ronick, now we have an admin full time doing nothing but responding to leads from patients. Double the ads, triple the ads so that it's just coming in constantly. All he does all day is respond to patient ads, see if they qualify, and schedule. Before him, an average week we had 7 to 10 patients on average. After him being there for 2 months only, we have about 10 to 15 patients a week on average because of him. And now that, as a
Okay,
side owner, that's
that's
ROI.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
ROI.
that's awesome. Exactly. It is now that you mentioned that, I had a pre-med student reaching out. Like he was insisting, please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. Even though that I didn't have nothing, and I was just like, okay, I would love if somebody gave me a chance. So I brought him in, and that's all he's doing. He's doing pre-screening phone calls. He's reaching out to the patients. He's following up with the current patients.
People don't know
Um,
how time consuming that is. And the reason we say
exactly.
small sites is because the small sites don't have that infrastructure. They have the coordinators do everything. And then
Hmm.
you reach a limit where the coordinator can't see a patient or two and pre-screen 20 people in the same
Hmm.
hour. So then you need
Exactly.
someone else to do this,
Exactly.
and that's who you need to be, Tamara. You need to be that
Exactly.
person.
Hmm.
Get out of academia and go to the private industry.
Yeah, because even if you're like I was joking, even if it was cleaning the coffee cups, I'm not kidding. That will be
Monica, I lost your audio. I lost I lost your
oh
audio.
yeah,
There we go. Now
sorry.
you're back. You spilled the
Sorry.
coffee on your wire. You know what's
So like
interesting though, Monica? Yesterday I interviewed our admin that I'm talking about, Anthony. I think
yeah.
Anthony's gonna be a CRA one day. He might even do NP, but he's a smart dude. So I was like, listen, man, you gotta do this podcast with me. He didn't want to do it. We did it. I'm glad we did. It'll be released soon. He said something interesting in that. I said, do you think anyone can do this job that you're doing? He said, no. And I said, why? He said, I think you have to be outgoing person. Like the patients. So Tamara, or anyone else
That's
watching.
true. That's true.
If that's a skill, I would rather you go figure out how to be more extroverted than learn some arbitrary thing about like a master's in research. Because sites, and you're an outgoing person, so it works for you. I am too. So it's easy for us to give advice to people if we pretend everyone is like us. But I learned that yesterday from Anthony. And I say, you know what? That's actually true. Not half the
Hmm.
people are introverts. So if you're
Mm,
introvert, you need to figure out if you go to a small site how to get that people skill if you want to get into the recruitment aspect of research.
yeah. I mean, I think you need to be likable. Somebody that is nice. You don't have to be all out there because maybe you're calling people that is also extroverts, and you have to be also kind of touchy, like
Mm-hmm.
sensitive with that. Especially, for example, in the area where I work with in mental health, that is a
Yeah.
little bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
Um, the person that is doing the pre-med student is he's not extrovert, but he's likable. He's nice, he's sweet. So it has worked for us with him too, because he has brought a lot of the patients that he has done the pre-screening, and obviously that's the first thing that you're gonna learn as a patient recruiter, the inclusion and exclusion criteria. That's
First
so
day. First day.
important, and just that is gonna lead you to bigger things, because that's actually how I started. Then teach me how the inclusion and exclusion. Then increase, well, what I needed to do: review the inclusion and exclusion criteria, review the prohibited medication, and the things that I needed to, like the deal breakers, basically, to bring a
Yeah.
patient,
Yeah.
the basic stuff. That's how I started. I remember those days when I was just welcoming the monitors. I didn't even know much about it. I will talk with them and they will ask me things that I was just like, what are they talking about?
No, but you
I
were
don't
good at
even
making them
knew.
feel comfortable. You bought them bagels and stuff. I remember you bought scones for one
Yeah.
dude. Uh, you have everyone's got a skill set that they can leverage to cover up for their weaknesses until they learn those weaknesses. So if you're an introvert, like you said, yeah, figure out just while you're on the phone, try to be positive, outgoing. You don't have to be an extrovert the entire time, but you got to
Hmm.
make an effort, on the phone. And we do a lot of psych too at our site, and you're right. And then the IE criteria is super important. Like,
Hmm.
so this is something for Tamara to figure out. I'm an introvert, but I enjoy learning. You need to force yourself. It's harder for introvert. You need to force yourself to go to sites in your area and not leave until someone comes out and they see your passion and they say, you know what, we don't really have a role for her, but people like this don't come around. We need to
Yeah,
find
not
something for
everybody
her.
goes. That's true. Not everybody
Nobody
goes.
goes. What do you
No,
mean, not
no.
everybody?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, very, very, very few people.
Has anyone showed up
Yeah.
at Clarity Clinical Research doing
Yeah,
this?
this guy that I'm telling you,
Oh,
the
so he showed
pre-med.
up from LinkedIn?
But
Or
he was insisting, like he
okay,
initially he reached out to me on the phone, then he sent me a message, then he texted me, then he started. I mean, he even went his way around. He went to my clinic. He brought his CV with a gift.
with a
He got
gift?
me. Yeah, he got me. What's the name of this?
This
Yeah,
dude is smart.
I mean, yeah, like a
Can we interview
little,
him?
like a little something.
Can
Yeah,
you
I
send
I
him the link?
really.
Is he near you or no?
No, he's probably at school,
Ah,
but
we need
yeah,
to interview him.
I'm gonna bring him in.
Does he work with
He's
you now,
really.
like full time or part time or?
No, he goes and shadow because
Oh,
he's
shadow. Okay,
studying. Yeah, he's studying because he needs to. He's gonna go to the medical school, but this
okay.
person is so smart, and he's a child for me. Like, he's super young, but he's a go getter. He didn't stop until I brought him in.
Yeah.
So and he was nice. He was never forcing. He was, look, I'm here. Remember, I sent you my CV, blah blah
Wow.
blah. And then one day he came to the clinic with this what's the name of this, with it was like something to it, but little, absolutely gorgeous. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I need you in my team. That was it.
He
That was
reminded
it.
he reminded you of you, like how you would have
Yeah,
done it.
exactly. So that's something that, I mean, those little details uh,
Yeah.
are so important that we sometimes forget
But
that
how
that
did it
breaks
work?
the
Like,
ice.
your receptionist was there and probably told him no,
No, I
and
was
then
actually, I was, I
oh,
mean,
you were
I was there when he came in, and he asked for me. So I just came out, and he just, hi, blah blah blah, and then he just, oh, I got you this, and it was just like,
wow. But how did
oh
he
my
find
gosh.
your how did he know who you were and find your site? He followed on LinkedIn
Oh,
or
no, because he started looking for all the sites around where he
so he's doing
lives.
exactly what we're saying.
Exactly, he did exactly that. And
Wow.
because he was told that if he got experience or on research, he was gonna get better opportunities at the medical school.
Mhm.
He was a go-getter. He actually even volunteers also in the hospital near us. So this
Okay.
person is somebody that is on a mission.
This dude's gonna be like head of the NIH one day. That's
Yeah,
what we're
no,
talking about.
I
Going
deeply admire him. Honestly, he is a go-getter. He works, he goes to school, he volunteers in a hospital and my clinic. And he's
mm,
a young dude, like really young. So
yeah.
he has everything in his mindset.
This is the stuff that you guys have to do to separate yourself from the rest. Not get a master's degree or a bachelor's from someplace. I mean, yeah, look, that stuff's important once you're already in and you want to keep advancing. Yes, there are many jobs, unfortunately, that are required bachelor's or master's. All right. But that's worry about that when you are already working in research. And a lot of times your employer will, because if you're a good employee, they don't want to lose you. So if you tell them, like this Anthony kid, like he wasn't my employee at the time. He was the doctor's office employee. But if someone like that, like if you don't want to lose him, you make a schedule for him. Listen, I'll still hire you. You go to school. I'll even help pay for some of your school. Like employers will do what they need to do to keep good people. Not everyone, not normal people, not average people. I'm talking about excellent people. They'll go out of their way. So if you're one of those people and you find a site and then you want to get education later, a lot of times the sites will help you.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we have even in the CRC Academy, we have students that are getting the class because their employers are paying for the class.
You see?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Uh, so, uh-huh.
Tamara
And
says I'm contacting
even
a couple of sites right now about internship. I will visit sites in person. Yes.
exactly. Even do you remember the student that she got the class? She was in the very first class of the CRC Academy, and then the pandemic started.
From
And
South
because
Carolina?
no, she's from North Dakota. And
Oh
because
yeah.
she the
Yeah, yeah.
hospital, because she knew every single part of the process. She was the only one that remained working because everybody else was
Yeah.
specialized in just one area.
Yeah.
And she is, I mean, this person is
She became a
amazing. Like,
generalist.
yeah, she's the director of that research site.
We need to have her come back. So can we get her on the show?
Yeah, yeah. This person is, I mean, she's also
Can you make that
like a
happen? This
go-getter.
person? Can you try to get this person on the show for our next live and this medical student dude together?
Yes,
Can
yes.
we do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to both of them.
Okay, please. And then
And
we'll do it like next
you
month.
know which shoulder I always brings out is also Diana, the medical. Do you remember
She
them?
just got hired. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. She's so that these people are go-getters. Like
Who hired her?
they don't stop. She's working with a sponsor now,
Oh, Fortrea, right?
or a
I think
CRO.
Fortrea
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Fortrea hired her.
yeah.
I remember, and
So
she came out of her way to SOS conference. She came out of her way
exactly
to the meetup we had with Inato in Anaheim at ACRP, and she's in Florida. This is not
same
like
thing.
driving an hour to go. This
Yeah,
is flying across the country
yeah.
to go.
Because she was on a mission. She wanted. So she actually started the CRC Academy when she was back home, like in South America. She
Ecuador,
started the
right?
class. Yeah. She came to United States within 28 days exactly. She got a job. 28 days.
Not even a
She
full
got a job.
moon
Yeah.
lunar phase cycle.
No. She got a job as a coordinator. And then from there she started doing different other organizations. Even this, she worked with a CRO for a while, but her mission one was to become a CRA, and she got hired during the period of time that nobody's getting hired as a CRA
That's
because
Diana.
she
Yeah.
was on a mission. Because she was on a mission. So everything is possible. I mean, really, is if you have the right mindset and you become creative too, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and I think a lot of people are afraid. One person I give this strategy all the time. Oh, Dan, applied to so many sites and no one hires me. And then I asked them, how many did you go in person? None. And I said, listen, why you don't do that? And then I show them a video like follow this. And then they say, "Oh, I didn't know that's allowed. Is it allowed? I didn't know I'm allowed." Who makes the laws? Do you see anywhere in the law? Are you going to get arrested? We're like, "What? Who's stopping you? The police going to show up cuz you're there?" Like they ask this all the time, "Am I allowed?" Who do you need permission from? You have permission from me and Monica to do this. And then if they get mad at you, say, "Show them this link." And that's it. And if they have a problem, they can email me.
Yeah, and besides, obviously, all of that, think about the majority of the sites. If we sometimes don't have time to do so many calls for pre-screening, we're not
None.
gonna be
0 time.
advertising
0.
exactly. We're not gonna be advertising any jobs. We don't have much time for that. So if I assure you that if you go and knock at least 5 or 10 sites, you're
Yeah.
gonna get an opportunity at least in both, in
But
two.
here's the thing.
Sorry.
Here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. This is very important to you. Sites are busy like me, you, there's hundreds of sites like us. If you just show up and say, I want to intern, it sounds like a lot of work for me too. You have to go with
Yes,
something in mind. I can help pre-screen your patients. I can help enter data. I can help
totally
draw
agree.
blood. Maybe you know how to draw blood. I can help do ECG. I can help clean up your lab when you're done. I could ship the labs. I could go to FedEx. I could help with your social media. Find something you're good at that sites need help. I can go recruit other doctors. I could do community outreach. There's like a long list of things you can be doing. So don't just go in with, I want to intern. You have to go with an idea and a plan and maybe ask ChatGPT, give me a plan for community outreach for a small research clinic in Santa Monica. ChatGPT is going to
With
write
this
a plan.
therapeutic area who
Oh,
specializes in this therapeutic area.
oh,
I
game
I I, I
over.
have I have to tell you something. Before you receive, you have to give, right? It's not always about gaining. I mean, you're receiving first because if
Mhm.
you go to a site expecting the site to give you, keep in mind, like just Dan was mentioning, we're so busy, we're not gonna just bring somebody in to give more work. If you go and offer or giving, then maybe maybe no. I'm sure that's a great way to reach to a site.
Yeah, and on your first day, if you do get the go ahead, you better just not give any extra work to that site owner. Like you just figure it out. Don't ask them for questions. unless they're like just sitting there. Um, but yeah, go out of your way to figure things out. And if you're at a place where there's clearly no community outreach strategy, which a lot of these sites don't have, just make one. Like use ChatGPT to help you make one, and then ask them for permission. Hey, this is what I think I'm gonna do. Do you have a problem with this, or do you think I should do something else? They're usually gonna look at it for 5 seconds and say, "No, sounds great. Go do it," and that's it. And now, guess what's on your resume? Like, and if no one's doing it, you're the director of community outreach at a site. Like, you just created
Exactly.
you just created
Exactly.
a function for you.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know why more people don't do it. Maybe it's because we're on the other side. But people are always afraid. Am I allowed? I didn't know I was allowed. That word keeps coming up a lot, and it's like you are allowed. And not only that, but the right site will be thrilled that you reached out. Not all of them. You go to 20 sites, but you only need one of those 20
Exactly.
to
I
be
mean,
thrilled.
yeah. I mean that's actually true. Not always knocking the door means you're gonna get the door open, but it's you're making a difference. If somebody, everybody just sits in their chair and start sending CVs, oftentimes those CVs goes to a spam folder.
Yeah,
So so
exactly.
you will do more of your time if you go to a site and introduce yourself and now that they know you, you can start sending the CV or an email or a text or a phone call to remind you when there you're still there. Like
Yeah,
I remember your previous slogan, Nan. Follow up, follow up, follow up. That's still very uh
it's true. It's true. It's I think you can do so much more beforehand now with the information we have. We started out this video talking about the information age that we're actually in. We just don't realize it. We're still acting like industrial revolution mindset with education and follow these SOPs, and I mean all that stuff's important, but at the site level, there's so many things that go undone and missing opportunities. Like I said with our admin, I mean, we went from 8 to 10 visits a week without him to 10 to 15. And of course, that's worth paying whatever we're paying. Like, of course, even one more visit a week pays for his salary, right? So
exactly, exactly.
it's
Mm-hmm.
a no brainer. And I think for the sites that are limited by bandwidth, oh, I can't do anymore. I've reached my limit. Well, I think you need to start looking yourself for people like this. And not everyone's going to be like Monica's person, and not everyone's going to be like Anthony. And that's why sites love when they find the right person. They do not want to get rid of them. Oh, you want to go to nursing school? What's your schedule on nursing school? Okay, we'll pay for half of it. You stay here on these days, you come in, or you work evenings. Something like an admin, we could work from home and do it from home. A lot of the leads come in at night and on the weekend. So if you have nursing school, you can. Do you want a nighttime job from home? But I won't give that to anyone unless I trust you that you're not wasting time. You're
Yeah.
actually doing
Mm-hmm.
something. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's so much we can get into on this topic, but CRC Academy teaches all this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, we do. And the beauty of this is like we were mentioning at the beginning, is practical. It's not I mean, the education has changed, and we have to understand that. We don't have to go and have 2 years or 1 year education in clinical research, or at least for a coordinator to become a coordinator, right? You need a solid foundation to start to know all the basic stuff. I'm not gonna say that our class is basic, because it's not. We teach you everything from 1 to 100, but this give you a solid foundation to go to a site and say, hey, you know what, I know how to do regulatory. Do you need assistance with regulatory? I will be more than happy to help you with regulatory. uh Maybe I know how to apply for studies. Do you need any assistance with that? I will be more than happy to help you to apply for studies and look for studies for your site. Do you need assistance with the pre-screening? I mean, I these three things are things that we always are looking for somebody to help, because regulatory takes a lot of time. uh, Patient pre-screening takes lots of time, and also entry data entry takes long time. So these things are important. And looking for studies. I mean, who doesn't want more study, right?
Right.
So
At your site, how does it work? Do you for eReg, do you guys use any like e-systems or is it all
yeah,
paper?
we no we do we have only one study in paper now. Everything we transition everything to electronic.
Okay. Who do you
Um,
guys use?
we use eClean Pro.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
We use eClean Pro.
If it
Hmm.
wasn't for Creo and me being loyal, I think Creo is awesome. I would have used eClin Pro too, from based on
Yeah,
everything I've been hearing.
those are my three favorite ones are eClean Pro, number one, Creo, and Viva. These are the three.
Viva is awesome for free eReg. Um,
Exactly. Hmm.
if you just want to dabble in eReg for free, maybe, and if you're a site owner, you choose like one study as your experiment. Like maybe it's a study you don't think you're going to enroll that many patients or whatever, and give it to like one of the coordinators that's more junior or something. Have them learn Viva with that one, right? Or any of these systems that you guys are implementing. You don't have to just switch. Let's say you switch to Creo or eClin Pro. You don't have to go like all or nothing. You can go little by little until you figure it out, and then if you're comfortable with it, then switch. If you're not, ask the vendor, "Hey, this is the reasons like why these are my concerns." Maybe it's oftentimes for me with Creo, it was my concerns were I just didn't know how to do it, but the functionality was there. So they taught me,
Hmm.
it's a learning process.
Exactly. Hmm. So the beauty of having this, using these electronic systems, is also give the opportunity to hire somebody remotely to take care of the regulatory, right? For example. And oftentimes sites don't have, I mean, many sites probably will want to go even, I mean, on the systems that they want to transition from paper to electronic, but they don't have the time to transition. Maybe that's something that you could do, right? We teach, we actually have now
That's
in the
right.
CRC, we teach you, we give you access to three different platforms. So you're gonna get exposed to that. Obviously, there are hundreds out there, right? But I will say that the top most popular are gonna be these three.
Yeah.
Um,
That's such a
and
good point. There's so many
yeah.
I think half the sites don't use any systems so far. More or less
Hmm.
half. I mean, I don't know the actual number, but more or less half don't use eSource, eReg, and the other half do. So for the
That
half that
can be.
don't,
Mhm.
and you don't know by their website, you won't know. But when those are things you can ask when you go in and then interview with the decision maker. Hey, do you guys happen to use any eReg, eSource? If they say no, you can say, well, nah, if you want, I can like show you, how to set up for one of your studies just to see. Or if not, I can do other things too. It's just that way they're already seeing like this person's more than just
Exactly.
like a volunteer. This person.
Exactly. So you're bringing solutions.
Mhm. Mhm. Or at least you're bringing like even if they don't like the idea, you're showcasing that who you are, like what kind of person you are,
A
and
new
you're
idea,
solution
yeah. Hmm.
oriented. Mhm.
Exactly. Somebody that brings solutions. I like that kind of people. Everybody that brings solutions are just very welcome.
So what kind of studies you got going on now, Monica? Is it psych or you moved
Yeah.
to other?
No, I've been doing only psych. I want to do women's health, but
Wow, yeah.
I'm still talking with the potential PI, so we'll see.
I've never had a OBGYN PI. But I there's a lot of opportunities in that space.
Mm. Yeah, my neighbor is an OBGYN. Her clinic is always full. And
Whoa.
plus, she is a
She has a private
minority.
practice?
Yeah, she's a minority doctor. So she is African American in in an area that has, I mean, in LA, is very diverse. So bringing in somebody uh like is a part of minorities is awesome. I mean, basic my whole staff
Wow.
is minority
You
people.
need to
Like,
get her. Does she have like a private practice or she works for a bigger group?
no, she has a private
You
practice.
need to get on
Yes.
that, Monica.
I've been just going like just like my pre-screener, like the one I just mentioned. I go say hi, bring them sometimes donuts just to keep them in their mind. And
Yeah.
she's so nice to us. So
Does she say that she's
I'm getting in
interested
there.
does she say she's interested or she said that not right now or like what's the
No,
issues?
she said she wants to think about it, but she wants me to sit with her to show her a protocol. So I have to get a protocol first to
Ah,
show
okay.
her
For
an
OB.
example. Yeah.
For
Hmm.
OB.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. But this just, I mean, even those things are just, it really needs that that relationship built, because you want to create that rapport and let them feel that they can feel comfortable with you, that they can give you that responsibility, and that happens over time, right? Like I was telling you, I didn't even had in mind to bring this pre-med student, but he start building that relationship, calling me
Yep,
once a
yep,
week, sending me a message, following up, following up, following up.
yep. Same thing with your OBGYN and you. You are the
Exactly.
med
Mm-hmm.
student now in this
Exactly.
example, and she never
Exactly.
expected you to walk in, and she would go about
Exactly.
her day with or without you, but you're
Exactly.
adding value, potential value, and she's feeling you out. So yeah, that no, that's really good. That's a whole
And
nother podcast right there. But we do our own we do our own advice. We follow our own advice. We're not looking for jobs necessarily as site owners, but it's the same strategy, really.
And the same with the sponsors. I mean, when you want to get a study, you have to establish that good relationship with your monitors, with anybody really in the sponsor level, so they get to know you. And then in the future, like I have a monitor that recently told me about a study that they're gonna have if I was interested, and that's because you're building that relationship with them. You're when they are coming to the clinic, they feel welcome, they feel that we're helping them in their job, and they help us too, because I mean, you wanna to have a good monitor to have you always ready, right?
Right.
So the relationships really in not just in this industry but in any industry is so important. That's
Yep.
one of the soft skills that we need to work on very hard, and make
Yes.
it our priority, because that's what is going to take us. I mean, um higher emotional IQ is more important than normal IQ, right? I mean, emotional intelligence is more important than sometimes the IQ.
EQ over
Exactly.
IQ. Yeah. No,
Exactly.
absolutely right. Well, Monica, look, good luck with this OBGYN. We're all rooting for you. Uh, I know you'll get it. And that's a perfect that to me that sounds like a perfect situation. Um, and then everyone, if you're interested, our next class for the CRC Academy starts August 5th. 2024. So check it out. We have a lot of sites actually putting their new hires in it, us included. We haven't hired anyone new other than this admin. And the admin's not a full time, so we didn't put him in. But we had all of our staff go through this course, and anyone else that we hire in the future goes through this course. So if you're a site and you're about to bring on someone, maybe like Tamara here, uh, put her through the class. thecrcacademy.com. Link underneath the video and in the show notes. Thank you very much, Monica. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Or you can reach out to me via LinkedIn.
Oh, Monica's LinkedIn is underneath as well.
Yeah.
Everybody go connect with her right now. Wish her luck with the OBGYN. Connect.
Yay.
Bye, bye, bye.